voice artist. Please welcome your host for the Voices for News class, Aldrin Sampear.
Good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, I don't have an award as yet, except for the awards that I got when I was still in school. So I don't have an award as yet. So one day when you guys are panelists on panels where awards are being discussed and debated, do not forget me. Do not forget me. Do not forget me. So I'm going to give you guys a snippet around. I don't have a lot of time. But just a snippet around what it means to create TV news and being part of TV. And of course, because it is a visual audio medium, it means that you must have a voice. I'm not saying you must have the best voice. By the way, I don't like the sound of my voice. I know. I just don't like the sound of my voice, but I've accepted, Uguti, this is the voice that God has given me. so it is what it is. It is what it is. But my voice has helped propel me from a community radio station in Katlehong called Kasi FM, and I've worked for so many other radio stations to where I'm at right now. I'm the host of the AM report on Newzroom Afrika between 6 and 9 o'clock, so I normally wake up like at 3 a.m. At 3 a.m. I need to be up, but I need to make sure that I sound good in the morning. I don't know, have you ever heard when you call somebody in the early hours of the morning? Hello, unfortunately, that's what we all go through. It's human nature. The voice just becomes a little bit coarse. But what I do in the mornings, I don't drink anything but coffee. Yes. I love my coffee. It's very, very important. That thing is a lifesaver. So I have my coffee in the morning, black, no sugar, no milk. Because the thing about milk is that what milk does, it causes a buildup of mucus in your throat and then your vocal cords as well. And then unfortunately when you speak, you always have to do the to try and clear your throat. So I would say if you're going to get a gig that you need to work in the morning at, if you are somebody like me who after drinking milk there is a buildup of mucus, I'd say rather avoid it, go for your coffee. I love coffee, maybe you love tea, go for your tea, get something warm to drink. But very important as well is that you need to warm up the voice. And warming up the voice, you need to have conversations with people. Because you need to also switch, the brain needs to switch on as well. And you switch on the brain and warm up the voice by having conversations with other people. Because having conversations with other people would force the voice to react in an emotive way. Very important. The voice is going to react in an emotive way. Like when you see your favorite colleague, it's going to be, hi, how are you, friend? What? When you see the colleague that you don't like, that must say, hi. It's going to hi. Yeah? So the voice is going through that ebb and flow. And we start, I get to work around about 4:30. Please don't quote me. My bosses might be watching this. If anyone is live, I'm supposed to be there at 4. So I get there a bit late. But I also get there late because, I'm working with 2 other co-anchors who are women and their makeup take forever. And I'm like, okay, my makeup takes about 5 minutes. I don't think that I need to be there at 4 o'clock. So anyway. So the voice is going through this ebb and flow, and because the voice is going through that ebb and flow, it's almost like it's a dry run for the bulletin that you're going to read in the morning. I don't know how many of us here, by show of hands, and I'm going to ask you to explain it as well, so I don't want to embarrass you, anything like that, who understands what a sense of occasion means? Sense of occasion, that you must have a sense of occasion. Ever heard of having a sense of occasion? Is your hand up? The camera person, is your hand up? Okay, anyone, sense of occasion, please. Okay, if you can just quickly stand up and introduce yourself. Use your voice over voice, yeah?
I don't have a voice over voice. Yeah. The rest I can. My name is
Hi.
Okay, so I would think of the sense of occasion as I'm using English.
Yeah.
Occasion. It's just understanding what you're talking to, what you're talking about, having like empathy to the situation or to the context.
Yeah.
I don't know, I could be wrong, but if I know what English means, it's that.
It's that. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else want a quick take? Okay, you can go ahead. Please introduce yourself as well.
How I understand the
Sense of occasion.
occasion.
Yeah.
Basically, having a voice for the occasion. If it's sad, you're sad. If you're happy,
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, so you're basically both saying the same thing, but I think you explained it much better because it is about tonality, the tone that you are going to use in your bulletin. So sense of occasion, ordinarily people would explain it this way, who are not in the voice business, is that when you are invited to a wedding, what is a wedding? It is a celebration. It's a celebration of love. So the body that you're going to take to that celebration of love must know that this occasion that I'm attending is an occasion where people are going to be bubbly, there's going to be lots of laughter, there's going to be lots of smiles, maybe there's going to be crying as well, but it's going to be tears of joy and tears of happiness. So you psych yourself up to, I am now going to attend a celebration. And you have a sense of occasion. You understand what the occasion is about. A quick example is when I was still at the SABC as a reporter doing live reporting. So you get to be invited to different events and so forth. Sometimes it is a protest. Sometimes it is, this example I'm going to give now. A celebration. It was Mam Winnie's 80th birthday, Mam Winnie Matikizela's 80th birthday, and I was asked to go and cover the story as a reporter, TV news reporter that is. It was a gala dinner. A gala dinner tells you, if you don't know, to Google what you should look like. Yeah? Even though that you are a reporter, that you are not necessarily part of the event. I stress this with all reporters and journalists that I've met and people that I've spoken to about journalism is that you must respect the invitation and respect the guest. The host. Because the host has invited you, and this applies to even a funeral, if you're going to go cover a funeral. The host have invited you to the funeral or they've allowed you to come and cover the funeral. Respect them. If they have a theme, you dress as per the theme. You're not going to stand out there with it does not fit in here, because then you've lost the sense of occasion. But at Mam Winnie's 80th birthday, what I decided to do is to put on, it was a tuxedo with a bow tie. For some people, it may have felt that it's a bit over the top. And I remember my assignments editor saying to me that you understand what a sense of occasion is. And you've respected that sense of occasion. That even when you are interviewing, because remember that you're on TV, so even if you are interviewing the guest, whoever you have, remember that that guest is dressed up. There you are, my jeans torn and what, and you are on. No, don't do that. Sense of occasion. So now think of sense of occasion when it comes to the voice and how the voice responds to the sense of occasion. A bulletin is going to come up, they're going to say, breaking news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has just been shot dead. How are you going to read that line? Who wants to go? President Cyril Ramaphosa has just been shot dead, and I'm going to ask you to use the mic as well. Okay.
Cyril Ramaphosa has been shot dead.
Make up whatever you want to.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Martin. Let's try this one. Breaking news. President Cyril Ramaphosa has been shot dead in an apparent event taking place at Katlehong. Police sources have said they're investigating the situation. We are urging all South Africans to stay calm during this time period, as our Deputy President will be addressing us soon. We'll be cutting live to to Aldrin Sampear, who's going to report live from Parliament.
I think he nailed it. Is there anyone who wants to give it a try? Anyone else who wants to give it a try? Okay.
Hello everybody, I'm Tabang Ntlapo. Let me get into it in my tonality. Breaking news this hour. It's just been reported that President Cyril Ramaphosa has been shot dead in Katlehong at a rally with the ANC where the EFF was protesting.
So what I like with both those examples is tone. The tone is very firm. So there is no hesitation that President Cyril Ramaphosa has been shot dead. It's firm, and even if you look at the writing that will come from the sub-editors is that the writing itself also would require of you to be firm in how you're going to deliver that, even with the other context that you are going to be providing, right? It's not necessarily a, quote, sad story, because it is President Cyril Ramaphosa. You think of the person as this is a newsmaker. This is, in some cases, some people would say divisive in the sense that there are some people who support Cyril Ramaphosa and there are people who don't support Cyril Ramaphosa. So while your tone is very neutral in how you're delivering it, it is still firm. It is still firm in how you're saying that President Cyril Ramaphosa has been shot dead. Now, let's flip the story. We have just sent you out as a reporter to come live to us from a scene where a mother she is wailing, she is distraught. Her 3 children have just been burned to death in the shack. I want you to deliver that for me. So I'm the anchor, and I'm going to cross over to you, and I want to hear how you're going to deliver that. Who wants to give it a try? Okay. Oh, but guys, ngapa? Okay. Okay. We're going to take. What's your name? Boniswa. Okay. Boniswa and sorry, what's your name with the red T-shirt? Obani? Mlung. Okay. Let's start off with Boniswa. Do we have another mic by any chance? Do we have another roving mic? Okay, we don't. Okay, I'm going to ask you to come forward, Boniswa, please. Bengicela ukuthi uze nawo phambili ne. Angeke ngicela ukuthi nijive ningawari. It's not I'm not going to ask you guys to. No, I want you to come forward because I want to read the story, the intro. Come on stage. I want to read the intro, and as I cross to you, I want you now to report on what you can see, right? So you are going to tell us what you can see, what you are hearing, and remember sense of occasion. The mother is distraught. She's just lost her 3 children. They've burned to death. You are the first reporter on the scene. The bodies perhaps have not even been moved as yet, right? Okay, hey guys, these are the things that we deal with on a daily basis. Oh, is that the jingle? Okay. A very good afternoon and welcome to the AM Report. My name is Aldrin Sampear. Thank you so much for choosing us this afternoon. So news just in. A mother has lost 3 of her children in Soweto. Our reporter is currently on the scene. Boniswa, tell us, what can you see?
Thanks, Aldrin. So, as I'm standing outside the shack, you can see Mama are just gathering up the pieces of what's happening. You know, mother 3, she is absolutely heartbroken. And as you notice, really, the house is no longer. The
children have been playing outside. Very often neighbors have reported that a lot of stuff had been happening. And we just really try to still have the neighbors who will be able to speak on behalf of the family. This.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the AM report. My name is Aldrin Sampear. Thank you so much for choosing us this afternoon. So news just in from Soweto. A mother has lost her three children in a fire, and this is after a flame or whatever fell over. Our reporter, Mlondi, is joining us from the scene this morning. Mlondi, you understand that the mother of these three children is very distraught at this moment. What can you tell us about what you can see? It's not that it's some kind of feeling that you can face, but I think it's an unfortunate event that has happened. And if you are one who is a parent, it's going to make you feel much more, a little bit painful. My name is Ndondi, and I'm reporting live right now at Soweto, looking at the shack right there. You've seen that there was a bit of a fire that occurred right here. It is an unfortunate event that 39, which is anything now, but kids just lost their life. We just received the report rather that the fire just erupted after they were trying to prepare for the school, and it was something that was highly uncontrollable. And when the fire department got here, it was attacked in about 2 days. And we'll be speaking to one of the family representatives because the mother can't unfortunately come forward as it is and says event. Baba, tell us what issue happened. No, ningahambi, cela nimela. Well done to Mlondi and Bonisa. I have to say, I also love that you guys are able to improvise and come up with your own lines and stuff. That's brilliant. And here's the thing about it, right? Is remember what we said about sense of occasion. So you have now arrived at the home. Think about your surrounding as well. If you are doing the crossing, the live crossing from inside the house, there is the mother. She is distraught. She is crying. There are the family members in support. Let's say maybe they've allowed you to actually come and do the crossings from inside the home. Or even if you're doing it from outside, I'd say take your tone down just a little bit. Because remember that, and I like this, there is it the voice of actors that's going to be taking place a bit later on as well, is because we are a broadcast medium, and we are also conduits of information, right? In the moment that we are in, it means that you also need to put up a performance. It could be your birthday, and you are happy that it is your birthday. Or perhaps maybe you just received news that you have been promoted. So that sense of emotion that you are feeling does not have any business being reflected in your crossing. I couldn't be bothered whether you have been promoted or not. But what is important for me is hearing the information about what has happened. So the way that you deliver it is also, I must hear sadness in your voice. I must, because remember that this one is different to a Cyril Ramaphosa, where you have a neutral tone that you're going to take because it's politics, the person was involved in politics and so forth. But here, this is an ordinary person who has lost 3 children. So how do we empathize with people? How do we empathize with human beings, and how do we step into their shoes? Unfortunately, sometimes we take it a step further, a step too far, and this is where you need to speak to your psychologist and so forth, and somebody who's going to be able to help you with this. For me, what works is digging into my own sad, brutal past. Because then it helps me to connect with that emotion that is required for the story, for that specific story. Here's my example. Do you want to read the bulletin? Okay. Bengicela ninikeze uMlondi imic uzosifundela ibulletin. And remember, your face is also important if this is for TV. The face is also important because the camera is going to be on you. Maybe it's going to be a split screen. It's going to be you and the anchor on the screen. So be cognizant, or is it conscious? Cognizant, I don't know which one of the two. Cognizant, okay. Be cognizant of your face being on TV. as the bulletin is being read. Okay, let's go.
Roll on music.
Oh, ooh, okay. Okay.
I'm joking. This is not my voice. I'm sorry.
Very good morning on the AM desk right here. My name is Mlung Wam. We're coming live to you at our Auckland Park studios. It is reported right now that is at Soweto there is a shack that got burnt, and unfortunately we lost 3 children. And we have our live agent on the scene right now, Aldrin Sampear. Aldrin, tell us the situation. How's it going there?
Well, Mlondi, I don't know where to start with describing what's happening inside this house at this moment. It feels very eerie. When we arrived and trying to speak to the mother, unfortunately, she was so distraught that she could not utter one word. One of the neighbors came and spoke to us and told us about exactly what happened at that moment that fire broke out. It was around about 11 o'clock when the fire broke out, but they only picked this up at around 11:30 that the children were actually inside the house. And from now on, what we have heard from the paramedics is that unfortunately all 3 children have died, they've lost their lives, and for this family, it is about how they're going to try and make sure that they're able to see through the moment that they'll have to say their final goodbyes to these 3 little souls. Thank you so much. Well done. Thank you so much. So can you see it is about the emotion, and you need to carry through the emotion. Whether you're going to be doing it in English or whatever language you're going to be doing it in, try to read as much as you can so that you can get all of the right adjectives that you need to use to tell the story, because you are essentially a storyteller. Let's feel the emotion, and the type of words that you are going to use must be able to accompany the emotion, because then it becomes like a grand package that you are delivering to somebody. So when somebody, as an example, because now we've got social media, shares a clip of you reporting from that scene, it must hit them. It must tug at the heart. So that is, for me, what a sense of occasion is. Very important. Dress accordingly. Also, if you're going to go to the home, you're not going to go there with your torn jeans. And I believe that even if you are on radio, I was on radio before, and I was a reporter on radio, and I knew at some point, because anything could happen at any time, where you are then redirected from one specific story to another story. And the one that I'm speaking about now, with the 3 children that died, is actually a story that I covered when I was at at 702. I was covering a protest. It was a protest action that was taking place in the CBD in Joburg, and then I was re-roted to say, go to Soweto and go and cover this particular story. And because of my own background and my ability to empathize and tap into that emotion, unfortunately, I went a bit too far, to such a point where I couldn't do my crossing anymore. I cried, and the family started comforting me. Yeah, I was the one who was now being comforted by a family who had lost 3 children. Because for me, it was so heavy, because I kept on thinking about where I come from and thinking about what if this had happened to us or had happened to my sisters as well. So unfortunately, we do carry a lot of emotion. Excuse me. Unfortunately, we do carry a lot of emotion as human beings, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But my advice is, if you are going to be a reporter, whether broadcast, print, think about therapy as well. Because therapy will give you the right type of tools that are going to carry you through. But what therapy is going to do as well is to give you the right type of language to use. Because imagine now, because I understand psychology so much, I have an idea of what that woman is going through, and I'm able to deliver that in my piece and how I portray the story. I don't know if there's anything else that you guys have, any questions that you have. As you guys know that we were just given like iskashana. Sine, not too sure if, do we go ahead with the Q&A? Is there anyone to explain what happens now? Yeah, so that's the nuts and bolts of life crossings, and sometimes as the anchor as well. So now I'm sitting there, I'm the anchor. Remember that the anchor is going to be dealing with multiple stories. A story from a Cyril Ramaphosa has died, a woman has just lost her 3 children, to Makadzi has just won a BET award. Yeah? I can't now say, because I come out of the story, Uboniso has just said, thank you so much, Aldrin, or whatever, and I thank you so much, Uboniso, thank you so much for that update. Ah, what a difficult story there, bloody blue. And then go, and in other news, Makati has won a BET. In other news, Makati has won a BET award. No, now you need to. so sometimes you'd see what happens is either there will be a sting in between. I prefer there be a sting in between, or you will see the anchor look down. This is them now psyching themselves up like, now I need to be happy. Oh, and in some good news coming out of the United States of America. So now we are preparing you, Wuti, actually this story is not as sad as that story. And some good news coming out of the United States of America. Our very own Makadzi has won her first BET award, bloody blue, with the emotion that carries a story of that nature, because it is something that is uplifting and it's something that there's joy attached to it. So a little bit of joy from your end. Sometimes it is going to be difficult, and it's okay to say to your EP, executive producer, Guti, can we swap the stories a bit? Maybe have another story in between the story of the 3 children that have died, so that we can have a little bit of a break even for the audience, and then we're going to go on to the happy story. Yeah. Okay. Sine is here.